Hello, hello, and welcome back for a little more dedicated destruction and calamitous carnage down in the blighted bogs and fetid fens of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And since we're on the subject of swamps and sticky situations, let's talk about little Susan McAllister for a moment, shall we? And no, that wasn't a subtle way to say that plague doctors suck harder than a supermassive black hole. I don't really feel the need to be subtle about that. I'm not afraid to just straight up accuse plague doctors of being big piles of hot garbage so large that their gravitational pull exceeds the speed of light. No, Susan is trash. I know it. You know it. Most importantly, she knows it. And that's why it's a problem, because the inchoate flesh is still lurking down in a dungeon, and due to Susan's aforementioned shittiness and Florence Nightingale's recent promotion to veteran, we don't have anyone available to heal our sort of low-level team here while they fight the flesh. We just got nobody. So I think probably what we're going to end up doing is sending Susan on a little bit of a sabbatical. Now, we're not firing her outright, but assuming we can find a suitable replacement, Susan is definitely going to take a short administrative leave while we do what needs to be done down in the dungeon. So let's head over to the stagecoach and see if we can find someone to fill Susan's position. You know, while she spends time with her family, say, whatever excuse fills your boat. And if we can't, then what we'll do is we'll just hand Susan her pink slip without an effective date filled in, and let the sword of Damocles hang over her head while we take the A-team out to crush some skulls. Which looks like precisely what we're going to wind up doing. No healer, no occultist, no vestal. So, yeah. You get a brief reprieve, Miss McAllister. Congratulations. Of course, you won't be going on a mission or anything while that happens. We're just going to head with the A-team down in the dungeon and see what we can find. So, no chance to bash a boss there, but we could take a level 3 team at the Fulminating Prophet. Alternatively, we could also go for the Brigand 12-pounder. That's a not terrible charm, but not a fantastic charm. What is your reward? The Tough Ring, which we very much enjoy a great deal. This is actually a pretty tough call. Alternatively, we could go... Yeah, you know what I was going to say? We could take the pure A-team down in to try and bash a boss, but doesn't really seem worth it. Let's take a look, I guess. We can see... Ooh. Oh, never mind. That's terrible. Bounty Hunter's Talon is not good. A Tough Ring is... Man, we got tough rings all over the place. Those things are just like candy. What is... Ooh, Man-at-Arms only. 15% max HP, minus 10 damage. That seems not so fantastic, actually. Do we go for the Fulminating Prophet? He seems dangerous. What kind of level 4 team could we put together? We could go with Lucy Pevensey, Deckard, Brienne, and Simpkin. That's actually a pretty strong team. Except for Simpkin. Yeah, Simpkin is probably the weakened heart of that. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure we're in an ideal position. Oh, wait, we got Dorian Gray. Alright, so we got to sort by level here very quickly. So what if we did Lucy, Brienne, Rick, and Dorian? That's a very strong team. Now, Lucy is going to make rank 5 out of that, but we will have Chrysania. That's, I think, definitely what we should do. Yep, 27,000 gold. Holy nutsacks. Yeah, we can't pass that up. That's simply a fucking windfall of gold. So let's head in, make sure everyone is fully upgraded. All right, so Lucy's good on skills. Brienne, also good. Deckard, how you looking, buddy? You're looking solid. Dorian. Aha! Alright, so let's get Dorian Gray upgraded for a pittance. And then it's over to the old blacksmith as well, just to make sure. Alright, so Lucy's good. Brienne, good. Deckard, also good. Dorian, not quite home, but you're there now, buddy. Alright. So we got a fine team here. These guys, I have a feeling this Fulminating Prophet he's in for a rough time of it. So it's going to be Brienne, Deckard, Dorian Gray, and Lucy Pevensey, beloved of the Godlion himself, will be leading our team into Narnia to defeat the Fulminating Prophet. I guess the Dawn Treader voyage didn't really work out so well, and, well, Lucy's on her backup plan, which is defeating blind, crazy drunks. Or should she be defeating them? I mean, shouldn't the Godlion really be into more of a forgiveness standpoint when it comes to the weirdo, sort of crazy, blind drunks? I mean, it seems sort of like the kind of thing he would normally go, you shouldn't smite this fellow, you should try and lift him up. I don't know. Don't really know much about Aslan, specifically as a religion. I'm a little down on my Narniology. So,
But doing so proved maddeningly impossible.
Is that a
How
fact?
had he survived the stockades, the icy waters, and the knives I delivered so enthusiastically into his back? How had he returned time and time again to rouse the townfolk with his wild speculations and
Well,
prophecies?
clearly, Mr. Ancestor, you have underestimated the fucking power of crazy. Because if you throw enough crazy at something, yeah, there's really not much it can't do. Crazy's tough to stop. Now, this is a very interesting layout. It looks like this would be further away, so I'm guessing he's going to be here, but the prophet could very easily be over here as well. This is an intriguing layout. All right, well, let's get started. We'll get to work here. This is the Bilbo Baggins moment right here. We're setting first foot out the door, and we don't know where this road goes, but we're going to be swept along in its flow, like a hobbit. This road apparently doesn't go very goddamn far at all before you run into a fucking Nazgul. We didn't even come close to making it to the fucking Bywater Lake or Bree River or whatever the shit it was. We got nowhere near it. I think we should probably take the ghoul. You know what? Let's take the Enchantress. 14 damage from Lucy Pevensey is a very, very strong start. I don't really think we need to have you mark. Let's go for finish him. There we go. All right, so Deckard's going to cut him down. That leaves us with a little bit of Dorian Gray, who is going to mark this guy. That's got him marked and debuffed. Then Brienne, little make him bleed. 17 damage, solid output from Brienne. And she got to bleed as well, so things are starting off quite nicely for us. Another 11 damage. Man, Lucy's really kind of bringing the death here. She's bringing the hurt. And Brienne, whoa. Oh, my lady, that was a thunderous blow from the air to the Sapphire Islands. That was, man, that was impressive. All right, so let's continue on. That's, I gotta admit, that's a fantastic way to start things off. Oh, you have, get the stress relief. Get the stress relief. Okay. Actually, that's a 20%, you know what? 20% damage buff is actually real good as well. So we're not going to complain about that. Deckard doing some extra damage is going to hold us in pretty good stead if we can get that and keep that buff all the way to the prophet. Let's burn a torch here. Just want to keep our light levels very high. We have a stack of books here. It's a Dorian Gray job. Occultist, they were born lucky. I'm telling you, occultists are born lucky, folks. Now Dorian Gray is stout, although that just really means, in fact, his picture got fatter. Dorian Gray himself is unchanged, of course. The volumes are dull and uninteresting. Actually, must have read his own story. That's not true. I actually kind of like the Portrait of Dorian Gray. It's actually quite a good story, but I digress. Just a little from beyond the grave poke I'd taken at Oscar Wilde, who's pretty much superior to me in all manner of wit and cleverness. That guy was truly clever. I'm just an asshole who plays video games on the internet. Probably shouldn't pick on him. 11 damage to start things off with our Bone Noble. I will take it. That's some reasonable output. Tempting Goblet. Stress is a bit of a problem for us. We do want to try and keep an eye on it because we got to go for the artillery here. Reason we want to keep an eye on it, though, is the Prophet does have some number of stress attacks, so we definitely want to be mindful of having our stress low when we come in to fight him. Let's see if we can get a kill here. There we go. Deckard gonna mitigate some incoming damage by taking one of our opponents out before he gets a chance to go. A little bit of Wicked Hack for the Spearmen. I always forget that Spearmen can bleed, actually. I rarely choose to bleed them because they look like skeletons and I never remember they actually are able to bleed, despite the fact that their name is Bone Spearman. We're gonna put the debuff on this guy. We'll have Deckard go ahead and collect bounty on him next turn. Should be fine. I think a group heal will hold us pretty good hope here. Everybody's a little banged up. Give me the Wicked Hack. Brienne, cut him down. That just leaves little Deckard to go. 31 damage. Deckard getting very close to the kill, but not quite able to seal the deal. He suffered that same problem with his first girlfriend in high school. Couldn't quite seal the deal. It was Lucy Pevensey. That's why he had trouble sealing the deal. Lucy, notoriously virtuous. I mean, look, she shit all over Susan, and I mean, Susan just sort of liked to kiss boys. Nothing wrong with that, really, Lucy. I mean, perfectly healthy and natural thing to do. An heirloom chest. Let's not waste a key. 6 crests. That's good, actually. Crests are the one thing we want. I mean, if we had to get heirlooms, crests are really sort of the ones we want to haul out of the dungeon. Our light level still looking very solid. We're going to pick up a free torch here and probably just burn that immediately. Yeah, we'll 500 onyx in that stand as well. All right, must have been hiding under the torch, I guess. Our guys have been getting very lucky with the traps there. We've encountered 2 and managed to thwart them both. I guess that trap maker should have tried to witness his own efficacy, huh, Mr. Narrator? Clearly, he didn't witness his own efficacy before installing that trap. It was not prototyped and tested, and that's why it failed. Still trying to get the narrator a basic understanding of, like, engineering design and prototyping. I've tried to educate him at every opportunity, but he just doesn't seem to understand. He's not picking it up. He's not picking it up like I would have hoped. 9 damage from Dorian Gray. Not quite enough to get the marksman, but I think we can probably finish. Nope, we can't even hit that row with finish him. You know what we could do? Let's throw a flashbang at him. Aha, there we go. He will not be quarreling us. It also got the stun, surprisingly. That very, very rarely works. Bone Spearman, yeah. Nah, I think we're better off to just kill the marksman, actually. I was going to say the Bone Spearman could stab. He's going to spear thrust. That did a little more damage than we would like. The stress is also not exactly what we were hoping for, but I think we could probably rally this up. So let's see if we can kill the conscript. We can. Deckard, making sure that guy never gets a chance to swing at us. You know, Dorian Gray, I think we got to get some more powerful heals on our little Hellion here. And speaking of powerful heals, that certainly got the job done. Let's go for the group heal then. 17 damage from Dorian Gray. Just imagine how big his criticals are going to be. And speaking of criticals and big, boom! Brienne of Tarth dropping the halberd, hacking that bastard like a pole-axed steer. Poor guy, never knew what hit him. 11 damage and a bleed, which is unfortunate. That's a 9-point bleed, so we're looking at a 2-point heal swing there. Not really what we were hoping for. Maybe we can get a bandage off before that bleed ticks. That would be delightful. Looks like we may actually have to go another round of combat. Yep. So, since we're... Nah, Brienne's going to get the kill here. Yeah, there we go. 21 damage. Brienne getting a little bit of payback. We need to get rid of something in our inventory. I think probably the bandage is the right thing to choose here. We're going to take the gold. The busts can go straight to hell. Take out this... I did not mean to do that with Brienne, and she now has thanatophobia, which means she's afraid of death. I've said this before, and likely I'll say it again, because I often don't remember the jokes I make. The stuff that comes out of my mouth while I'm doing these episodes is just kind of a pure, ridiculous stream of conscious bullshit. But, isn't thanatophobia sort of universal? I mean, isn't everyone afraid to die, pretty much? I mean, other than, like, lunatics and crazy people who are willing to just squander their lives for no reason. I mean, anyone who is interested in any kind of positive experience should, like natural and healthy fear of death, right? Not sure thanatophobia is really a thing that exists. I mean, how would you have an unnatural... I mean, I guess if you did nothing but sit around and worry that you were going to die 24/7, I suppose that maybe is what constitutes thanatophobia. Just a constant crippling fear of death, wherein you are unwilling to do even basic actions. Speaking of fear of death, that guy should have lived in fear, because that was a bomb-ass Titanic critical from Dorian Gray. This is an unusual play for me, and I'm going to do it. We're going to try... I really want to... Oh, beautiful. I wanted to shuffle him to the front. I'm not sure the Big Bandit can do anything from the second row. I don't think he can even do... I don't think he even gets to act. Let's test this theory. We'll hit him with the... if it bleeds, and see what he does. He can still Rain of Whips. Alright, well, that's that theory shot down the crapper. We'd have been definitely much better off to just kill the Outlaw Cutthroat then. But that's okay, because Dorian Gray is going to butcher him like a hog. I think probably a group heal is the right move for the Loved of the God line. Little Lucy going to deliver some quality healing force and undo that Rain of Whips. Point blank shot is unfortunate, but nothing we can't fix with our next heal. This guy will probably survive that long, unfortunately. He's got still an abundant amount of health. I have a strong suspicion we're going to come back around to him. Or not. Man, Brienne of Tarth has been spot on with the killing. Spot on. Alright, we do need to get rid of some inventory. We gotta shed some stuff here. Let's eat some food. I think we eat... You know what? Let's eat our fill. I want the gold. I also want the emeralds. Kinda also want the crests. But I don't really want to get rid of anything we have right now. Probably... You know what? Let's get rid of the medicinal herbs. We'll chuck those. We'll take the gold. We'll take the emeralds. We'll abandon the crests, and we'll use the key on this chest. Hidden compartment, alright. You know, basically we traded the empty inventory slot and a key for 6 crests. So, theoretically, you might as well have just thrown that key on the floor, taken the first crest in that slot, and then opened the chest without a key. to see what was in there. I mean, the worst case scenario could have been that we avoided a trap is actually, I guess, the best case scenario as opposed to the worst case scenario. The worst thing that could have happened had we done it the other way is that we would have triggered a trap. Yeah, why not? Dorian Gray. I'm telling you, guy, charmed existence, that magic painting, making Dorian Gray just absolutely immune to any form of harm. We could camp. There's a case to be made here for camping. If the prophet is in this location, camping is definitely the right move. Then again, here's the other thing. We have the damage buff on Rick Deckard. We've got that going for us. Deckard is buffed in the damage department. He's going to be doing some fine work for us. We got Brienne. You know what? Let's see what sleeping buffs we would have here. We could give bonus accuracy. Oh, this is how we do it is real good. Planned takedown would not help against the fulminating prophet. All right, and I know you have Brienne sharpened spear, right? Brienne has sharpened spear. Also rejected gods. We want to get rid of pep talk and pick up rejected gods. So we could give Brienne plus 15% crit. Could we give anyone else any kind of bonus damage? We don't want pep talk, dark strength. Okay. So we could trade, we could get to 20% bonus damage as well as an extra 20% critical chance for Brienne. We would have to pick up a little bit of stress to do that. Could we also bless her? We could. Bonus accuracy, bonus dodge. So yes, camping is definitively the right move. We have sufficient buffs to make camping worthwhile. The question is, what if the prophet isn't here? What if he's over here instead? Given the fact that Deckard is already damage buff, I think taking the risk right now is actually the right decision, just in case we have to double back over most of the entire dungeon. Finding that trap is very unfortunate. We do have food. Let's just eat. That's fine. We can undo all but 1 damage of that with food. And thanks there, Mr. Narrator, for pulling out the whole trap maker's art bullshit. I appreciate it. Getting 2 of that food back. That's fantastic. We're gonna burn 3 of these. Well, we're gonna burn 2 of those torches and throw 1 on the floor, and I'm taking that sapphire. We still have 8 torches, which is more than enough. I'm gonna guess this is probably the prophet. Realistically, we probably should have camped. It is in fact a prophet. So camping would have been the better choice. All right, we got a calamitous prognostication. You know what? The calamitous prognostication is not really a huge problem, considering that we have Dorian Gray in the party. He's actually going to be able to basically undo one of those hits pretty much at will. So we're going to chip in 8 damage from Lucy at the start. That'll probably be the last time Lucy's able to contribute in that fashion. And I think marking him as, no, actually I think Abyssal Artillery in this case is probably the better choice. We're going for the Abyssal Artillery. We may have to cut our way through one of these pews because Deckard can't hit the back row with any of his attacks, right? Nope. He could flashbang him. I don't think this guy can move. I'm pretty sure his move resistance is going to be... He's basically immune to stuns as well. That's definitively the wrong move then. Let's mark the front pew, and we can just start hacking at it. I don't like having to go through these pews, and that Fulminate really is a problem for after these calamitous things drop. I have to assume they're going to be doing an absolute ton of damage as well. But the bounce back to that is Brienne of Tarth is also doing a ton of damage. Actually, that did considerably less than I would have expected. I had assumed that would hit considerably harder than it did. Now, there's a case to be made for switching Deckard and Dorian, but instead what I'm going to do is just have Dorian heal himself with the big heal, and he's completely undone all of the Fulminating Prophet's damage. So, Mr. Prophet, guess what, buddy? You can suck it. We brought plenty of healing to handle your ass. Your skin burns, Deckard. Well, I tell you what you can do to get rid of the burning is dash one of these pews in half. Surprisingly little damage from Deckard, actually. I was expecting that to hit much harder than it did. So another Iron Swan, 21 more damage. That's 42 we've put on the Prophet. He's got 101 to go. This stacking Blight could become a problem if some of our guys don't start resisting. The double dodge is... You've basically sealed this man's grave. I mean, he's done. Yeah, you can Calamitous Prognostication all you want. We dodged the last one, so... I'm pretty sure you're fucked with a capital F, sir. You're, yep, you're in Bone Town, population, I don't know, pimps and hookers? Who would live in Bone Town? I mean, like, I would guess maybe it would be sort of a natural environment for a hooker, at least like a natural habitat. Could also be, I guess, skeletons or the undead. Maybe Bone Town is populated entirely by zombies and skeletons. Necromancers live in Bone Town, perhaps. You know what we can do is start putting some bleeds on our little Perfidious friend here. He's down to 70 health. He's got his eye on us. Clearly, his eyes need a little bit of work since everybody dodged that, and Brienne also dodged. We're making a laughingstock out of our Perfidious friend. This guy is not exactly doing too well in the prognostication department. Many of his predictions here seem to be not necessarily coming true. We're absolutely going to mark him, because Deckard is going to hew him in half. We want to get the mark in there while we can. Group heal will be fine from Lucy Pevensey. Solid critical, and we may actually go back and double back on this dungeon just because, you know, we can, and it would be funny to do it. Gonna hack the Prophet. That's got us 10 damage. It's not really what we were hoping for, but it's more than the none we could have gotten. Again, double dodging. Man, we're... Fulminating Prophet, buddy, you really need to go see the ophthalmologist. You have some serious vision problems that I think are woefully inhibiting your hopes of ruinous attack. If you can't see him, you can't hit him. Unless you've got some kind of, like, Rutger Hauer blind fury thing going. I mean, you clearly are blind, but you have your eyes in your hands. I don't recall Rutger carrying around his own eyes in his hand. I don't remember that being a thing. Dorian Gray doing somewhat less damage than we would have liked. But Lucy Pevensey is there to pick up the spare, so bam. And okay, we did it. This is worth taking. We also want the emerald because we already have one. No one is bleeding, so the bandage is pretty much extraneous. Do we want to... How do we want to handle this? We could throw the onyx down for... Yeah, that's 1,000 gold worth of onyx, though. Let's get rid of the anti-venom, and we'll take the pew chunk. We'll leave the bandage. And there we go. So mission over. We could leave right now if we so chose, but... There's a lot of loot still to be had here. We have one well, let's think about this, actually. We're going to get a ton of cash. We're basically in a zero stress position right now. What could we potentially hope to gain? We don't have an abundance of inventory slots because we're going to need the torches. Theoretically, we could throw over the... You know what? I think we're better off to just leave now. Let's camp, get our cheap stress reduction, and this team can then leave the dungeon with absolutely no stress. We'll have zero stress across the board. We're just going to... Yeah, we can have this team have come in, killed the Fulminating Prophet, made a good amount of cash, and still exit with absolutely no stress, no wear, no tear, no muss, no fuss, leaving only the fresh scent of pine behind in this dungeon because the Fulminating Prophet will be fulminating no more. Yep, I think we're done. So there we go. And a tough ring to boot. Which, I love those things. We're going to be putting 2 of those on our Crusader. He's going to be damn near unkillable. And look at this fucking gold, folks. 36,000... Oh, sorry. I'm an idiot. 34,900 we pulled out of there, but still. That's the Scrooge McDuck fortune right there. It is. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were around. They would definitely be jealous of that fat loot. And we didn't even actually get anybody to bump up to level 5 with this. I am very surprised by that. Which means this team can go again. And why wouldn't we have them go again? They did such a fantastic job. There's no reason. Deckard picking up Slugger, which is excellent for Deckard. That's a fantastic ability for a bounty hunter. Death Blow Resistance is also solid. Stomach Cramp is, you know, it's not really a game changer. It's not really a deal breaker. It's a little unfortunate. Early Riser is, again, not really that big a deal. Bonus Speed for our Hellion is of dubious usefulness. I mean, it doesn't suck, but... So Katniss had a night on the town. Reduced 70 stress. Bruenor had a bad night of drinking and won't go drinking no more, but he did recover 70 stress, so it must have been one hell of a night. What a night. Ooh, what a night it was. It really was such a night. In the dawn, and my heart was warm. But I'll never forget that kiss in the moonlight. Actually, for kissing Bruenor Battlehammer, I have to assume you're going to get like a mouthful of beard when you're done. Probably kissing him is not really that enjoyable. Then again, I guess, I don't know, female dwarves might also have beards, who knows? Maybe they just trade beard hairs. It's sort of like a French kiss among dwarves. When they kiss each other, the swapping beard hairs is the most intimate act. Alright. Who needs to get rid of some shit? None of our I think our A-team is actually all pretty well adjusted mentally. We've eliminated, yeah, pretty much everything we'd want to eliminate on those. The Fab 4 here, none of those guys are going anywhere, so you guys can all just kind of hang out and chill. Simpkin, what about you, buddy? Oh, misses the spot. That shit's got to go. So let's get you in here. That you can get rid of that. Also, Simpkin actually has kind of a crippling array of phobias. We should probably dedicate some serious time for you. Stun resistance is not... It's not a deal breaker. Let's see if we have something that's actually... Winded really sucks. Yeah, we're going to get rid of Winded. So that's going to go. Murph, how about you? Scattering, not a problem for you. Claustrophobia, known cheat. And none of those are really horrific. Wield phobe is pretty shitty. Garrett, what about you? Yeah, you're an anemic tippler. Actually, anemic kind of blows. Ron? Ron's looking good. Ron has egomania. If there's ever anyone who had less issues and problematic situations with egomania, that person is Ron Weasley. There's never been a more honorable man. Zoophobe. You got a lot of shit here. That kind of sucks, Bruenor. Bruenor is on sort of our low A team. Yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of... Night blindness is not likely to ever affect us, actually. Zoophobia is real shitty, though, so let's get rid of that. It's 750 gold. I mean, it's not like we can't afford it. We have everything fully upgraded. Actually, can we do anything with our 44 crests? I believe the Nomad Wagon, we may have some options here. We could reduce trinket cost by an additional 40%. I really think that's probably in our best interest. Are also any of these worth picking up? Nope, nope. No, and no. So we definitely want to try and increase the number of trinkets available now that we're making mad fucking ducats. I mean, seriously, I don't even think we can spend money as fast as we're making it now. Probably should enhance our dungeoneering capabilities. Let's see if we've got a healer available. We do have a Vestal. So what we would do is put Susan McAllister on temporary sabbatical, and by that I mean we'd fucking shit can her, with the eventual hope of hiring her back once we've gotten through one boss battle with the low A team. The issue there is we would be taking a level 0 Vestal in to fight the inchoate flesh. Is that really a good idea? I mean, I think it's a better idea than taking a level 1 Plague Doctor. Is there any way we could get... Yes, okay. So what I was thinking is if there's any way we could get her to at least rank 1 without accidentally leveling Garrett Jax. And the answer is yes. What we could do is take Ron, Bruenor, Katniss, and then our newfound Vestal here. Oh, by the way, Susan McAllister also, you know that pink slip that didn't have an effective date? We changed our minds. You're suspended indefinitely. We'll probably bring you back at a later date, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and pick up a nice new little Vestal here, so... And we're gonna cheap out here. Of course, we've gone dipping into every single capacity for sort of healers, good nicks, and whatnot. What kind of Vestal should we go with here? You know what? I think we're gonna go old school, and we've already dipped into this well once, but I think this is gonna be Gold Moon. She's just going to come in, she's going to fill in very temporarily for our Plague Doctor. And Gold Moon, I mean, was the healer before Chrysania got on the scene, so, I mean, it's also kind of thematically appropriate as well. We're going to pick up old Gold Moon. And our next mission, then, what we'll do is we will take Katniss. You know what? Actually, it doesn't matter if Garrett Jax levels. We've got Bruenor. So, yeah, we'll take Garrett Jax, Ron Weasley, Katniss Everdeen, and Gold Moon on our next mission, then. Get her leveled up to 1, and then what we'll do is have that probably swap out Garrett Jax for Bruenor Battlehammer, and we'll have them go take down the inchoate flesh. And with our plots, schemes, and plans all laid in place, feeling a little like Mr. Burns up in here. Excellent. We will go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, of course, consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.